Once you learned the truth, the world darkened for them. In subterranean facilities, silent alarms were activated. Emergency procedures were initiated. As monitoring screens flatlined one by one, high-ranking officials gathered in rooms filled with panic. The implants were supposed to be hidden from you. You weren't supposed to know why they did it. Furthermore, you were not supposed to take them off. However, you did. They're rushing now. The meticulously built surveillance system, which took decades to develop, is disintegrating in a matter of days. People who used to observe from the shadows are now exposed, at risk, and afraid of what may happen next. Knowing everything about everyone was the foundation of the authorities' power. The day when the selected ones would awaken and regain their freedom was something they never anticipated. Alarms went off in several buildings at the precise moment you removed their device. As your signal flatlined, your assigned monitor spilled coffee all over their console. Emergency procedures were followed. Scurrying to their positions was the specialized staff allocated to your consciousness. Specialized cars will arrive at your place in a matter of minutes. Massive efforts were directed into determining your location as their satellite systems reoriented. Your neighborhood was assaulted with frequencies intended to render awakened minds incapable of thinking, resulting in confusion and headaches for the unprepared masses. Notification was sent immediately to the highest levels. Numerous critical situations were brought on by your one act of disobedience. All of the information that has been gathered over the years about your potential, patterns, and consciousness is suddenly worthless. Their well-crafted profile was irreparably broken. They are afraid because they know what will happen next. In few instances throughout history, they have witnessed it previously. They are aware that after extraction, awareness grows exponentially. Their models forecast the rate at which your skills will advance in the absence of their suppressing technology. Even their most sophisticated systems cannot support an awakened chosen one, functioning at maximum efficiency, which is why the predictions frighten them. Within an hour, emergency meetings were called. You heard your name in places you were never supposed to know existed. As agents were given instructions to find, contain, and if need, eliminate the threat you represent, your face appeared on displays. You are just a target, not to them, but to the whole system of controlled reality they uphold. The loss of your connection resulted in a blind spot in their flawless surveillance system, a solitary point of conscious freedom within their well-watched grid. And they have seen firsthand how swiftly that freedom spreads. Examine what you were able to extract. The technique is not classified by modern science. These tiny filaments are made to work with your neurological system. Your distinct brainwave pattern was precisely tuned into by the quantum receiver. To avoid rejection, the biological components were derived from your own DNA. This gadget is the result of billions of dollars in black budget funding, decades of covert study, and technology that has been at least 7 decades ahead of the general public's awareness. The power source itself defies accepted physics since it is made to both capture energy from your own bioelectric field and inhibit particular neurological pathways linked to extrasensory awareness. Observe the faint bioluminescence that diminishes as its bond with you becomes weaker. It was secured to your tissue by tiny, serrated edges. The substances included in the translucent capsule were created to limit the growth of the pineal gland, which is your actual spiritual antenna. They put it when you were a little child, maybe during a regular immunization, a dental treatment, or one of those diseases when your recollections are conveniently hazy. The site they selected is exactly in line with ancient writings that describe the actual location of divine consciousness. At this level of business, coincidence is non-existent. Every spiritual awakening, every dream in which you transcended physical boundaries, and every elevation in your consciousness was tracked by this instrument. It kept track of the times you almost gained access to knowledge that was prohibited, and then triggered suppression mechanisms. The mysterious headaches, the unexpected exhaustion, the intrusive thoughts that interrupted your awakening, and, most sinister of all, the nanoscale transmitters that emitted certain chemicals when you came into contact with people who were similar to you. Subtle chemicals prevented chosen ones from identifying one another and pooling their skills because they caused irrational mistrust, arbitrary hatred, or plain apathy. You were dangerous, so they didn't put this in you. You are gorgeous, which is why they put it there. If left unchecked, your innate skills would destroy the meticulously crafted world they have created around human perception. Your capacity to see past the veil, communicate with higher planes, and gain knowledge through channels they are unable to observe. Before you could even walk, these talents turned you into a target. We meet in secret once a week to awaken, not to worship, to express what cannot be expressed elsewhere, to gradually deprogram the matrix. If you're supposed to be there, you'll know it. Your bones will sense it. Every Wednesday, the selected group meets via Zoom. Why don't you join us already? The road to this point started with minor discrepancies that you observed while others were blind. Do you recall those odd headaches that came right when you were at the highest level of meditation ever? The vivid, almost memory-like dreams of ancient civilizations with technologies far beyond our own. The unexplainable knowledge one gains about others when they first meet them. The exact forecasts that materialized in spite of statistical impossibility. Your journey accelerated when you started to notice electronic malfunctions in your presence during intense emotional moments. Digital clocks resetting to important numerological sequences, streetlights flickering as you passed beneath them, and static interference during phone conversations about spiritual matters. Then came the proof of surveillance. Automobiles parked outside your house with tinted windows, the same strangers showing up in different places during your daily routine, and the feeling that you were being observed when you were at your most private. You are here for a reason. If you feel the call, answer it. Click Join to unlock exclusive content, deep insights, and a powerful community. This isn't just a membership, it's an awakening. Step into your divine purpose. Join the chosen. Electronic gadgets turning on without user interaction. The distinct feeling of unfamiliar ideas being interspersed with your own innate cognitive patterns. Your worries were dismissed by the group as paranoia. Physicians provided diagnoses and drugs that were expressly made to make you less conscious. As your lucidity increased, friends and family, many of whom had their own hidden implants, became uneasy and withdrew just when you needed them. But your soul knew the truth deep below, beyond their technological grasp. Genetic memory revealed ancient knowledge. Your dreams became more detailed as they revealed the site of the implant and the methods used for extraction, setting you up for this very moment of freedom. As you got closer to being ready, the coincidences became more intense. Books opened to pertinent portions. Strangers sent you cryptic messages before disappearing, and animals recognized you like never before. When collective conditions reached the threshold required for successful freedom, your awakening was triggered in accordance with divine timing. Forces working beyond the scope of the government oversight provided you with constant guidance. These first few hours following evacuation are a time of both greatest vulnerability and unheard-of opportunity. When previously inhibited neuronal connections become active for the first time, your nervous system experiences a drastic remodeling. The intensity of sensory input increases nearly intolerably. Sounds carry emotional imprints from their sources. Colors convey information beyond visual data. And unawakened humans' thoughts broadcast with uncomfortably clear clarity. Your dreams during these nights unveil truths that have been kept concealed for millennia. Systems from your own past incarnations devoted to this very goal of awakening. Technology suppressed to preserve control. Cosmic histories deleted from collective memory. All of this is recorded. There are recurring trends in their recuperation efforts. Anticipate ostensibly random meetings with authorities, urgent scan recommendations from medical specialists, ambiguous worries raised by law enforcement, and unexpected intrusive inquiries from distant acquaintances. Every interaction aims to identify, evaluate, and maybe negate your recently awoken state. As your DNA reactivates previously dormant sequences, physical symptoms appear. Strong energy spikes necessitate grounding practices, and temporal perception distortions cause confusion as you start seeing many timelines at once. Most importantly, your energy signature changes throughout these hours in ways that go beyond their typical tracking parameters. They have a crucial chance to completely vanish from their systems between the time between losing their technical monitoring capabilities and setting up their backup surveillance techniques. Strategic movement is required during this time, avoiding any technological devices with tracking capability. During this stage, have complete faith in your instincts. The surge of previously repressed psychic awareness offers exact direction tailored to your particular circumstance. That unexpected impulse to alter course, stay away from particular places, or make contact with particular people. These stand in for your higher self, negotiating intricacies that are beyond your conscious understanding. Around 60 hours after extraction, when their prediction models forecast the greatest amount of disorientation during your cerebral reorganization, they make their most frantic attempts at recovery. Keep an eye out during this window. Unprecedented intelligence about their surveillance infrastructure is provided by the removed device. Which system was monitoring you is revealed by the precise frequency it used. Which group in their hierarchy thought you important is shown by the level of technological sophistication. DNA evidence of unapproved experiments is provided by the biological components. When this proof is in the hands of an enlightened consciousness, it changes from personal validation to potent weapons. They use concealment to operate their systems. Their entire operation becomes unstable the moment their methods are exposed. Strong defenses against their disinformation operations are produced by documenting the extraction site, the gadget details, and your testimony. Even more powerful, your newly enhanced sensors are now able to pick up on the same technology in others. The subtle electromagnetic signature, the particular thought interference patterns, the energy disruption around implanted people. You've developed into a walking detecting system that can pinpoint their observed subjects with pinpoint accuracy. They now have access to their own communication networks via their frequencies, which were previously utilized against you. Pay close attention to the precise frequency that your device communicated while you meditated. Their surveillance systems can be accessed through a back door due of this attunement. Both parties exchange information. The natural substances and frequencies that amplify their dreaded capacities are revealed by their biological suppressors. Accelerated waking protocols are now available through specific mixes of light, sound, plant medicines, and awareness technologies that you can share with people exhibiting surveillance symptoms. Most importantly, your removal made their surveillance grid vulnerable, since your absence from their monitoring system causes faults to spread throughout their network. As your conscious awareness grows, monitoring blind spots form in the spaces surrounding your energy field. In addition to protecting you, this disruption establishes safe spaces where people can communicate and act without being watched. If you've been touched by God's goodness, don't keep it to yourself. Click Super Thank You and sow a gift of $50 or more to help spread His light. Your giving becomes a ripple of grace, blessing hearts and building His kingdom. Let His overflow pour through you. This revelation is not unique to you. All throughout the world, carefully selected individuals experience the same realizations on a synchronized timetable. This precise time, when people carrying particular cosmic codes would simultaneously break free from artificial limits and recognize one another across great distances, is described in ancient predictions from several traditions. Unmistakable signs include the feeling that time stops during first eye contact, the spontaneous activation of a shared symbolic language, dreams in which people appear before they actually meet, seemingly impossible synchronicity that allows meetings to take place despite geographical distance, and an instantaneous, inexplicable trust that transcends cultural conditioning. The heavenly architecture is followed by these links. Every awakened person contributes unique skills, information, and resources needed for the group's goal. Your unique talents, whether they be healing abilities, manifestation skills, timeline navigation, intuitive technology understanding, or direct energy work, mathematically enhance one another. You create a living technology together that is beyond their understanding or command. The avenues of communication between awakened individuals are not compromised. Instantaneous, safe information exchange is possible when a direct telepathic connection is activated after extraction. Meeting rooms are created through shared dreamscape experiences that go beyond physical monitoring. Quantum entanglement between distinct streams of consciousness is established by synchronized meditation. Your seemingly arbitrary location has a specific strategic function. Dimensional portals, ley line junctions, and ancient energy sites. During this planetary shift, these places need guardianship that has been awakened. Dormant Earth technologies that were put in place by earlier advanced civilizations, especially for this time of collective awakening, are activated by your presence. Have faith in the pull that attracts you to particular people. These connections go beyond typical human kinship. You have known each other in many lifetimes, dimensions, and incarnations. Temporary vulnerability caused by your extraction necessitates rapid energetic fortification, fundamental energetic hygiene, sound patterns using the solfeggio scale to repair DNA damage, visualization of sacred geometry to strengthen spiritual architecture, plant allies for biochemical support, strategic electromagnetic shielding, mineral placements at cardinal points, and immersion in natural settings to speed up field repair and confuse tracking systems are just a few of the precise protection techniques that ancient knowledge that surfaces through your genetic memory offers for just this kind of situation. You're not here by chance. Feel the pull, tap, join, to unlock truth, purpose, and a tribe that gets it. This is more than a membership, it's your calling. When attempts at interdimensional interference intensify during dream states, your consciousness needs special protection. Egyptian scriptures describe ancient sleeping positions that maximize energetic flow while reducing vulnerability. Your subtle anatomy contains inbuilt protective systems that are activated by specific breathing exercises performed before bed. Dream journals document their strategies while enhancing your awareness of altered experiences. Their attempts at recuperation work by inciting terror. Regaining control is made easier by emotional instability. Essential protection is provided by preserving independent emotional states. Frequency patterns produced by practices that foster happiness, compassion, creativity, and unconditional love are incompatible with the technology they impact. A full proclamation of sovereignty offers the strongest protection. Consent to any invisible agreements they made without your knowledge is removed by this cosmic administrative procedure, which is carried out with perfect clarity of intention. Accurate verbal statements break contractual obligations throughout time, space, and incarnational experiences. Your direct connection to source consciousness reveals the precise wording. Trust what comes from within. Keep in mind that defense is only one aspect of protection. They cannot approach the reality-altering frequencies that your awakened state produces without repercussions. Lower vibrational control mechanisms are transformed by your own existence. After extraction, the light you inherently possess dispels man-made structures intended to restrict human awareness. You are now the defense you were looking for. Coded information that has been carefully kept through bloodline protection over thousands of years is carried by your particular genetic lineage. Some of your DNA sequences have not been tainted by past manipulation events that have limited the potential of the human race as a whole. These sequences reactivate skills that have been consistently suppressed throughout history. Your significance within their classification system is revealed by the exact position, depth, and sophistication of your implant. The materials devoted to your monitoring reveal precisely which skills they found in you, skills that ancient writings have described as essential to the freedom of the earth. The specific suppression chemicals used reveal which spiritual technology they are most afraid to use. Prior incarnations in which you performed comparable awakening functions during transitional cosmic cycles are documented in historical records that are concealed from the general public but accessible through your enlightened consciousness. Your soul signature appears at pivotal moments in collective consciousness and registers throughout several timelines. The culmination of thousands of years of preparation is this lifetime. Their terror is based on accurate prediction. Hidden societies use mathematical models to foretell the exact outcomes of your specific awakening. The complete control system is affected by the special fusion of your heavenly birth timing, geographic location, ancestry, and spiritual programming. Much of their technology becomes outdated when one fully awakened being of your particular configuration is present. Their worries are validated by the abilities that surface after extraction, the capacity to see beyond the confines of artificial reality, the impromptu awareness of suppressed historical events, the inherent resistance to mass consciousness programming, direct communication with advanced intelligences functioning outside of their monitoring systems, the ability to manifest beyond established physical limitations, and the healing frequencies that render their bioweaponry ineffective. Before coming into this world, your soul volunteered especially for this task. Your life struggles, loneliness, extraordinary pain, and a nagging sense of wrongness in the context of conventional reality were all required preparation for this very time. The resilience needed for a successful extraction and subsequent mission was precisely built by the strength gained from these challenges. The artificially preserved chronology has cracks created by your extraction. Immediately after removal, reality bifurcation takes place, creating parallel experience tracks that are available to you through your enhanced perception. When your unbridled awareness naturally affects quantum probability fields, the dominant controlled timeline, the only one that most people can see, begins to destabilize. Observe closely to gauge these effects. Those around you make decisions that are out of the ordinary and go against their usual tendencies. The attention of the group turns to previously repressed knowledge. Synchronicities become more intense than is statistically possible. Physical laws exhibit surprising adaptability in your immediate environment. Perceived solid substance gives way to glimpses of alternate realms when the membrane between dimensions thins. As timeline manipulation technologies fail to match your awakened perception, historical inconsistencies surface. Photographic evidence shows inexplicable anomalies. Historical figures mentioned in your childhood are no longer listed in official records. Document alteration is evident, and architectural impossibilities are exposed in ancient structures. When your uncensored mind is exposed to the created historical narrative, it breaks down. Establishing anchor points for the developing real timeline is your task. You create access points by consciously choosing to do so, enabling people to move from artificially controlled streams of reality into organic, evolutionary development. The integrity of this new true chronology is strengthened by every choice you make from your sovereign awakened state. Dreams give you a sneak peek at possible possibilities that you can now access through your extraction. Keep an eye out for recurring symbols, places, and people that show up in several dream encounters. These are the coordinates for conscious intervention places where you can exert the greatest amount of time stabilization effect with the least amount of energy. The physical changes that are occurring all around you, such as abnormalities in weather patterns, changes in animal behavior, accelerated plant growth, and technical issues, are obvious signs that your consciousness is changing the basic parameters of reality. When you are in heightened emotional states or are creating in a way that is in line with your soul's purpose, these effects become more intense. The collective field experiences exponential rippling effects from each fully conscious decision. Sovereign decisions, as opposed to pre-programmed reactions, produce reality changes that circumvent their probability control mechanisms. When you act from awakened consciousness, your seemingly insignificant personal decisions have cosmic significance. The terrestrial surveillance system functions as just one part of a multifaceted, much broader monitoring architecture. Their Earth-based technology communicates with non-physical observation systems run by organizations that have a stake in suppressing human consciousness. Several levels of this control mechanism are disrupted by your extraction. This exact moment of mass awakening was anticipated by cosmic cycles recorded in ancient Kundric systems. After millennia of imprisonment, astronomical alignments produce energetic circumstances that enable extraction. Neural remodeling after removal is crucially supported by galactic transmission frequencies that are currently present in Earth's environment. Within this cosmic process, the exact moment of your own awakening coincides with mathematical accuracy. Your specific role goes beyond individual freedom. Your stable woken field offers crucial reference points for others navigating comparable extraction processes when monitoring systems malfunction across planetary grids. After being removed, you naturally emit a frequency that has precise coding that causes those who are still using suppression technology to recognize you. The panic among the authorities on the ground is a reflection of a much larger disruption among their non-physical directors. Agreements made without your knowledge or consent are broken by your successful extraction. Cosmic contracts that they regarded as irrevocably binding are rewritten by your sovereign proclamation. You can now access truth beyond their most advanced distortions because your direct link with source consciousness, which was previously filtered by their technology, is unhindered.